Take a look at the news, your social media, your friends. It seems like more and more people are losing hope. I want to come and speak with you. Just take a few moments and share from my heart something I feel like the Lord's kind of laid on me, and something that I've seen repeatedly in these last few months that has come up time and time again. So welcome to the Kingdom Man podcast, where we discuss some of the hard topics facing men with a Christian perspective. I'm your host, James Russell. And today we're going to talk about hope. What is hope? And what is not hope? The difference. Because I hear people talking about hope, and what they're really talking about is wishing. Like, I really hope that this thing happens. I hope that I get a raise. I hope that my marriage lasts. And what they're really saying is, I wish that it would happen. But that is not what hope is really about. When we go into Scripture, you can find that hope means more than just wishing for something. It means that you have an expectation of an outcome. You have no guarantee of the outcome, but you have an expectation of the outcome. And how can we have an expectation of an outcome? How can you have an expectation of an outcome? By putting in some work. Now, I've heard a quote that says something along the lines of, hope is not a course of action, but in fact, I think in that case they're talking about wishing. Wishing is not a course of action. Wishing is not going to make anything come about. But when you put in some work, you actually have some hope. So this is what I've said in my study, in my time praying, and what I equate hope to is hunting. Now, you may not be a hunter. I've gone into the woods attempting to hunt. I've not ever been successful, but here is, I think we can all kind of relate and understand like the broad steps of how to hunt. And this will relate to hope. Okay. So if I'm a person who would really like to get a big buck this year, I need some meat on my table, I like some horns on the wall, what level of hope do I have of getting a buck this year? It's a possibility, but do I have hope? Now, oftentimes when people say that they hope for something, like we said, what they're really saying is that they wish for something. So if I were wishing by using hope, I would, while sitting on the couch all year long, I could say, man, I really wish I get a deer this year. But you know what's not going to happen? I'm not going to get a deer if I'm sitting on the couch. You have hope when you put yourself in the right places at the right times with the right equipment. Now, like I said, I've gone hunting. I've sat in the tree stand. I've sighted in my scope. I've got my cover scent on. I've got my camo. I've put myself in a position and at a time that I would have the most likely advantage, most likely occurrence of getting what I sought after. Because I put in that work, I had hope. I couldn't achieve it by sitting on the couch and just thinking about it. I couldn't achieve it just by reading a book about it. I couldn't achieve it by watching multiple podcasts, multiple videos on YouTube. All those things are great for information and they can get you in the right direction, but they will not get you there on their own. You've got to put in the work on top of your information. The more information you have, the better chance that you have because you know the conditions better for what you're seeking after. Again, going back to the hunting analogy, if there's a big buck that's walking through the area that I'm hunting, but he only walks through at sunset, I don't have a whole lot of hope if I'm going out there first thing in the morning. I can be at the right place with the right things, but if I'm not there at the right time, that particular deer is out of the question. So there's so much work that people put into hunting that they put up trail cameras so they are beginning to pattern deer. They know where they're coming from and where they're going. They're able to keep track and so much so that people will name their deers because they've put in the work to see what's there to begin with. And because they put in that work, they have hope. There's no guarantee. Things change. Sometimes the deer who walk around at night suddenly will change their pattern and they're walking through the area at midday. But you have no hope whatsoever if you're just sitting there wishing. Now going back, what do you want to have hope for? Your marriage? Are you putting in the work? Are you actually doing some research about how you can make things better, how you can advantage yourself and putting yourself in the right place at the right time with the right things? Because then you'll have hope for your marriage. Are you hoping for a raise? Are you hoping for a new job? Well, hoping and wishing is two different things. You can't just wish that someone will lay a job at your lap. But when you put in some work, when you beef up your resume, when you brush up on your skills and actually invest in yourself to make yourself better, you will have hope. There's no guarantee. But you are making sure that you put yourself where you need to be with the things that you need to have. I can't expect to get a job as a welder if I've never welded anything in my life. I need to put in some work and get some education about how to weld and actually, go weld some things and learn. And then maybe I have hope. If you want a raise, you can't just sit there and wish. Well, I guess you can, but you don't have a whole lot of hope then. But when you make yourself the best person in that area of wherever you are working, if you're a salesperson, you're making yourself the best salesperson you can be, then you have hope. If you're a janitor and you're cleaning, you make yourself the best daggum janitor you can be. And people will notice. Now, it won't guarantee that you get a raise, but I guarantee that you're going to feel better about yourself. If you're a doctor, become the best doggone doctor that you can be. When you make yourself more valuable, it will become evident. And other people will also value you more. You'll have hope. So today's a short one. I'm not going to get too lost in the weeds like the last one. I guess I got excited coming back on the air. I had to share everything coming to me. But today I wanted to leave that little seed. I want us to be people of hope. Because the world around us needs people to have some hope. We all are wishing, but we kingdom men need to put in the work and show that when you put in the work, then you have the hope. Now, it's not enough just to listen to this. Don't let it go in one ear and out the other. Be men who have hope. Be men of hope for your families, for your churches, for your communities. Put in the work. We need you to step up. We need you to have hope. That's it for today. Thank you for checking out the Kingdom Man podcast. Feel free to connect with us on Facebook and Instagram. We're not on the Twitter. I guess we could be if we wanted to, but we don't really want to these days. But feel free to follow us. We love hearing from you guys and hope that you're actually being kingdom men.